the mundane day-to-day is like killing my soul in spite of the exciting life that I used to have, you know?
How exciting was it really?
I kind of had like a violent streak.
When you say a violent streak, like you were like...
I was like clubbing people with tire irons.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, is this Geck?
Yeah, who is this?
Hey, what's up, Geck? My name's Andrew.
Andrew, what's going on, man?
Okay, so I guess I'll just start where I texted you. So I'm 34 now, which, you know, I mean, great midlife crisis or whatever. I came up from a pretty bad situation, broken home, drug addiction, all that stuff. And as I've progressed in my life, I've kind of I've straightened it all out. But I find myself in like bouts of depression and just absolute boredom. The mundane day-to-day is like it's killing my soul.
Yeah.
In spite of the exciting life that I used to have, you know.
Well, how exciting? I mean, and you know, only you can truthfully answer this question. But how exciting was it really?
I mean, so just as an example, some of the escapades or whatever that I was getting into, I kind of had like a violent streak back then. So like I would definitely get like a fix of adrenaline on a regular basis when I was doing drugs.
When you say a violent streak, like you were like...
I was like clubbing people with tire irons. Like it was pretty bad.
Okay.
Thankfully, I was one of those people that just wouldn't take a plea deal, so I don't have a criminal record now.
Oh, there we go. Wait, so when you say don't take, you know, I don't. We can. When you say you didn't take a plea deal, what does that mean?
I mean, I was arrested for a lot of this stuff, but I refused to take whatever plea deal that they were trying to throw at me in California. And when I was trying to take it to court, they would always find some way of either expunging or sealing the record.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. Though. Yeah, go ahead. I'll save my questions to the end.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, I was just saying, like, so with it being sealed and stuff, my record's actually pretty pristine in spite of everything that I was doing.
And how long have you been clean from meth for?
It has got to be about 14 years now. I really didn't keep track, but I want to say the last time that I can't do math. I was 24 when I stopped. So it's been almost 10 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And when you use the phrase excitement, are you referring to like all the crazy stuff you were doing 10 years ago?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But now in the past 10 years, has anything given you you know, as much if not more excitement than clubbing someone with a tire iron?
Not really. If I'm being fully honest about it, not really. I've found myself just being really bored. I mean, I went from basically like borderline poverty to I'm making about $125,000 a year now running my own business, and I still haven't found anything that like really brings me a sense of passion, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
So I actually have a dog walking business that I didn't think was going to turn out to be as big as it did.
Mm-hmm.
But since I'm primarily working in affluent areas, I'm able to kind of overcharge, and it honestly took off to a point that I wasn't expecting it to.
Can I ask what city you're in or state?
I am near Palm Beach Island, Florida.
Okay. And what's your family life like? Do you have a girlfriend or anything like that?
I've had a series of long-term relationships that just didn't work out. So currently, no, I'm single. Actually, for the first time since I was 17, I'm actually like single and have been remaining so on purpose. And then my family life is kind of touchy. It's just my family started off with the drug thing, and then I just kind of picked it up later as I got older. Mm-hmm. So it took me years to kind of get to a point where I would bridge that gap with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you've been clean and sober for 10 years.
10 years.
And have you been when did you start this dog walking business?
About 7 years back.
Okay. So have you just been bored for 10 years since you stopped doing all that stuff?
Honestly, yeah. My day-to-day, like, I think the most exciting things that I get to do at this point is video games or gambling. And I think it's mostly gambling because I just kind of enjoy being around degenerates.
Mm. How's the gambling going?
Up and down.
And the whole time it's been in Palm Beach?
More or less. It's been Palm Beach County.
Do you have a lot of friends down there?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I have pretty good quality friends. I have about like 8 people that I regularly kind of, talk with or meet up with for lunches and stuff like that.
That's a lot. That's good. That's a lot of friends. 8 friends.
But if I'm being absolutely honest about it, it's just there is no comparing going and getting Chipotle with a couple friends and then like hitting a trampoline park to basically assailing a guy in the back parking lot somewhere at a bar.
Why? I get like why? I mean, for real, man. Like, when you look back upon violent street, like, do you look at it like fondly?
I'm a little bit. Most of the people that I ended up, having interactions with back then in that capacity, they kind of deserved it. They're kind of pieces of shit. These are people that would like steal money and beat their kids and shit. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. No one's gonna care then. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. You sound like you're primed to become the Palm Beach Batman, if that's what you really want to do.
I don't want to though. Like I really I don't want to. I want to enjoy the life that I have, but at the same time, I just find it so boring.
Over the past 10 years, have there been any inkling of anything that you desire to want to do outside of hitting people?
To be honest, realistically, I just kind of maybe start some kind of nonprofit or some kind of like charity that would benefit the overpopulated dog pounds, the things like that. I do have a kind of a passion towards helping animals, and while I'm working with dogs on a regular basis, these are all very affluent families with very well taken care of pets, and there's just so many that are like discarded and treated badly. Mm-hmm. That I would really like to have a solid place to like just keep them safe, well fed, safe, played with.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's interesting, and I feel you on just like life being boring, because I guess I'm doing like I can't sit still either. I always feel like I have to be fucking doing something. And I've typically been able to fulfill that by working on projects and work and whatnot. So I think a nonprofit's a good idea. It's certainly, I'm gonna say a nonprofit helping abused animals is a better idea for you to cure your boredom than to beat people up.
Yeah,
even if they deserve it.
I think that's fair to say. And I agree with you. It's probably a better use of my energy, and it would probably benefit the world more. And it's just how do I really just get over the fact that it's just so goddamn mundane. There is no rush to it at all. It's all just strategizing, putting the money aside, and making sure that you're scoping out the right property. It's fucking pushing paperwork, man.
Okay. So we're talking about two different things here, because you're saying there's no adrenaline. There's a difference between, running a small dog walking business is not as exciting as beating people up, and nothing is as exciting as beating people up, correct?
I mean, yeah, just for example, beating people up. I mean, there was obviously other things, running from police, doing all sorts of just kind of outlandish experiences that I can look back on and say, well, not everybody got to do that, and I did. So.
Well, let me ask you this, because, I assume, are you part of any, recovery communities? Are you in NA or anything like that?
No, I'm actually really bad about that. I stopped on my own, so I kind of have a superiority complex about it. Oh, why don't you just quit? I did.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, I'm asking because it's a very common idea of one taking the excitement that they found in whatever their negative behavior was and finding it in something else. So it's been done before.
Right. Yeah, I really haven't, engaged with that community on that level.
Mm.
And part of it's me getting my own way. I know that. I can acknowledge my own superiority complex when it comes to it. I definitely feel like I'm kind of above it, and that's not a good thing, but it's just the reality of how I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that there is a community there that could probably help me kind of redirect some of this excess energy that I have.
Mm-hmm. I'm also very interested that this is not a new problem. This is something you've been having to figure out.
Slow simmering.
For the past 10 years. And so I'm curious in what ways you've attempted to, whether successfully or unsuccessfully, address this issue in these past 10 years.
Mostly I just say it is what it is, and I try and move on day to day.
Yeah.
But over the course of thousands of days, obviously, it gets a little hard to continue to just blow it off like that. That being said, I'm still doing pretty well for myself, and I understand that I can't go back to that kind of a lifestyle because it's absolutely a waste of my time here. So, at least I have that understanding, and since I know I have that understanding, it's a little too introspective, but yeah, since I have the understanding of that, I feel like it's easier for me to just kind of push through the boring parts.
You should. I have a movie for you to watch. It's not helpful at all. It's called The Incredibles.
I guess I've seen it.
You ever seen The Incredibles? It's like this guy. It's different because he wasn't into meth, but he was bad. He liked to beat people up. He felt like deserved it. That was his thing, and he was doing pretty good at doing that. And then he quit, and he went into insurance, and it made him depressed. And then he went to the jungle, and then I think he started beating people up again. You know what?
All right.
Don't watch that movie. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
All right. Go to the Amazon, start beating people up. Perfect. Got it.
You could go to the Amazon. You could
It'd probably
do that.
Be a rush there.
I don't know. I only have my own perspective on. I only really have my own perspective on the world and the perspectives of everyone who I've ever talked to. If they, nuzzle their way into my brain, which I guess is encompassed in my own perspective of the world. But I found when I get fucking bored, I travel. I go places. Do you have the flexibility to do that with your dog walking business?
So I'm actually going to be going to New Orleans here in June, just so I can kind of get out of my funk, because I have not left Palm Beach County in the last 7 years since I started this. I've been very stationary and stuck here.
No,
because I
work my own business. You haven't even how much of an attempt have you made to find new and interesting things to do that aren't fantasizing about running from the cops and stuff?
Well, I don't have a lot of people that I trust enough to do my job, since I am working with like multimillionaires and stuff, and I have to be basically free key access to their homes and stuff. I really don't want the liability of somebody that I don't fully trust going into their house and possibly rooting through their shit.
Yeah, maybe not the people that you're meeting at the blackjack table.
Probably not. Probably not the degenerates that I prefer to spend time around.
Not that there aren't, respectable, upstanding citizens playing blackjack, but you did refer to them as degenerates.
Yeah, and look. I mean, don't get me wrong. My close circle of friends. I mean, these are good people. They're firefighters and shit, but they don't want to come walk dogs. They want to be firefighters.
What are you doing in New Orleans?
Probably just going to go out there and drink in excess, celebrate my friend's birthday while we're there, talk to women that are not from my town, and catch a flight back.
I don't know if this is helpful or even what, but I've been thinking about this a lot because I sometimes think that I'm also very much in this process of trying to figure out how to make my life like good, but that's the thing. It's already good, but I kind of am like, like I just went to Thailand for 10 days, and I'm traveling a lot and whatever, and I'm kind of like,
yeah,
is my life gonna be better because I'm going out and going crazy and having all these experiences and this and that and the other thing? Or is it going to be better because internally in my own brain, I've adopted a mindset of gratefulness and appreciation for the things in my life, whatever those things are. And I'm wondering about that because, like, I've done all this crazy stuff, whatever, and I am still day to day struggling with trying to, feeling good about life, and so I wonder, like, are those things, and I feel very good about doing those things, and I know that when I die I'll be able to go, okay, we lived life to the fullest. But I don't know if this stuff that we're looking for is outside of our brains or inside of our brains. I'm leaning towards, and this will probably evolve as I get older and have more experience in tackling these issues, but I'm leaning towards a little bit of both, a little combination of both. Because sometimes I'll use this whole, like, oh, it's all in my internal brain. Sometimes I'll use it like as an excuse to be lazy and not do shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
So it's a little bit. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. But anyway, that wasn't advice or anything. It's just thoughts. That wasn't advice or even anything that anyone could be like, hey, you remember when you said that? I'd be like, oh fuck, did I really say that? I'm just pontificating.
Yeah, don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, don't quote me on anything I've ever said.
Well, I mean, that's where I'm kind of at. It's a crossroads of, like, I have my positive accomplishments and my accolades and everything else that I'm doing, which is great. I mean, I should be very grateful for that. It's my life's been working out significantly better than it did when I was doing that shit.
I'm gonna say this to you this is my final piece on this phone call. What's your name again?
Andrew.
Andrew, just beneath everything, my viewpoint on this, whatever you're doing, walking dogs, watching TV, playing video, whatever you're doing at any given moment in your day-to-day life at this point, there's like a 99.99% chance that it's better than doing meth and beating people up. So take solace in that, okay?
I'll take solace in it. I don't know if I'll feel fulfilled by it, but I'll take some solace in it.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Fuck bitches, make money.
Take care. Thanks, Andrew.
All right, Gecko.
Hi, hello.
Hello there. What is your name?
Hi, I'm Mr. Sweetness.
Mr. Sweetness.
I like to be known as... Yeah.
Where'd you get the name Mr. Sweetness?
Mr. Sweetness is actually my performer name when I get there. Yes.
Hold on. Mr. Sweetness is your performer name when you get there. Okay. What do you perform?
I'm a complete singer. I've been singing for 12 years.
Okay. What do you mean by get there? Sounds like you've been there for 12 years.
Well, I've been in a special situation. I've been singing for 12 years. I've been in a choir. My whole life has been like choir for the majority of it. That's pretty much how I dictated all my choices throughout educational purposes. But I've been singing in the choir for 12 years, and I just recently dropped out of the choir program. This is my first time doing my own thing, and I'm stuck. I'm like, I have all this ambition. I want to do all these things, but I feel like I'm stuck until I really make a decision on how I want to go about, how I want to get there. Because I think that's important.
Yeah. What kind of decision are you trying to make?
So, as an artist, and I plan on having a whole internet persona, image, all that jazz. So I'm not worried about that. But I have to decide on how I want to get there, because, and this is why I feel like, as I look back and how I've been deciding on how to get where I am, I feel like I've been kind of like the villain in this circumstance. I feel like if I really want to get to where I want to be, I have to have a kind of villainistic mindset on how to get there. Almost like selfish to that point.
So you texted me, you said, I think I am becoming a villain. That's what you said to me.
Mm-hmm. So
what do you mean by that?
So I know that I can be pretty stern, stubborn. When it gets there, I have no problem about that stuff. I let people know, hey, I could be me. I'm trying to get stuff done. Currently, I'm a manager at my job, and I know I like to be in positions of power where I know I can control what's going to happen.
Okay.
I've been a manager there for like 3 years now, and I did that, and I got that position quick. I was like, yo, I know what needs to get done. Let me go ahead and work up the ranks real quick, and so I can help y'all out, help this situation. And it went fast. I got promoted, got my position. I've been pretty much borderline running that place besides my general manager.
So look, man, we're getting a little off track here. What do you mean? What do you mean by you're becoming a villain? What does that mean?
I feel like I'm going to have to make some really hard decisions when it comes to the people I associate with, the things and directions I'm going. Like,
okay,
I'm going to have to start cutting people off and start introducing myself to new things, but at the same time,
all right,
I don't know if that's
the
right thing to do.
Okay, so if we're let me back up for a second. You desire to. You have a lot of stuff you want to do. You want to be a professional singer. You want to make videos. That's all great.
Yeah.
Why I'm extremely lost as to why you have decided that you need to become a villain to do this.
I don't think artists are good people.
Why?
A majority of artists, well, I mean, you can just see it. I don't think a majority of artists, of how they get to where they are and how big they are, I'm talking like bigger names, I don't think they're good people. I think they've cut a lot of corners, and I think they've done a lot of things that they're personally not like, they're not going to tell every other person, but I mean, they get there how they get there. Not saying I'm gonna.
Hold on, I got it, Mr. Sweetness. I got to stop you right, Mr. Sweetness. You've decided in your brain that in order for you to become a successful singer, you need to be an asshole.
Not exactly an asshole, but I have to be selfish. I have to really put myself and my goals and stuff before anything, like almost like even above my family type situation. It has to be number one priority, is what I'm feel like it has to be.
Mr. Sweetness, Mr. Sweetness, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Have you made a single video?
I make funny videos,
Okay.
but I haven't made a single song.
Okay, Mr. Sweetness, you before even releasing a single song, before even trying to do anything, before even presenting yourself on the internet as, you know, I'm a singer and this, before even attempting to reach this goal that you have decided that you need to be an asshole to do it?
In a broad sense, I guess I have to just really. I can be nice. I don't have
Mr.
a problem
Sweetness.
with talking to people.
Mr. Sweetness, my friend, I'm just telling you, man, you've made this declaration for no reason. This is not where your brain should be. You know what I mean? Like, dude, just, you know, go make stuff, go put yourself out on the internet, and you can, I want to tell you, you can present yourself however you desire, and if how you desire to be in this, and not even present, forget about that. If just how you desire to be is Mr. Sweetness, sweet guy, nice guy, family man, all that stuff, then go fucking be it. Why have you decided that you can't be that? You've decided that you can't be that literally for no reason. Or actually, no. I'm not. Hold on. I'm not gonna say you've decided to be that for no reason, because I think the reason you've decided to be that is because, I don't know, man. You think about, like, whatever, Kanye West or fucking, I don't know why. I don't have good examples, but you've just decided that the trope of, like, somebody who's successful is an asshole, and you've probably decided that based off of examples that you have, and those examples are wrong. And that decision is wrong, and I really strongly encourage you to stop thinking like that, because it's not helpful to anybody.
That's fair. The mindset really stems from, like, I don't know if you've ever, like, watched, like, well, yeah, of course, like cartoons, a story, like, the stories where the villain is generally, and this is just like storytelling in general, and just cartoons and shows I've watched and stuff, the villain is dressed up as he's already won. He's the one winning. It shows it shows, and it depicts the story that
Mr. Sweetness, I'm sorry, but what are you talking, like, dude?
Well, it's a comparison. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Just like it. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to, this mindset that you have is it's like defeating, you know? You call yourself Mr. And by the way, listen, if you told me right now you were like, I kind of want to be an asshole to a bunch of people, I'd be like, all right, that's your God-given right, is you can go be an asshole. I don't care if that's what you want to do. Is be an asshole, and go ahead, be an that's what you want to do. But it's not even that's what makes it extra sad. It's not even what you want to do, you know? You're not even sitting here like, I bet it would be awesome to be a dick to people all the time. You called yourself Mr. Sweetness. You're sitting here like, oh, I want to be Mr. Sweetness. I want to be a nice guy, but I think I have to be an asshole if I want to succeed. And that's sad. And I don't think that's based off of anything that is remotely true. So I strongly encourage you to stop thinking like that and just go, you know, make your music. Like, that's all that fucking matters, you know?
That's very true. I do 100% agree with that. And it's more of like, am I a bad person or villain in that person in this scenario? If I have to make a decision where, hey, me and this dude, we had good chemistry, but something happened and he's slowing down, and I feel like I need to keep going. And that's where I've been like in a lot of positions where I feel like I have to cut these people off, or like get and people or situations. I just have to cut it off, and I feel like I have to keep going. But at the same time, I'm losing like friends here and there, and like these are like real relationships and real things that I feel like I have to do to get to.
So a couple things. One is that doesn't make you a villain, because I mean, was this like your boyfriend, or was this like a guy that you were seeing?
These are people I know. I have these just connections from singing from all the years, and people I've been trying to work with and all that jazz, and some relationships like past love, stuff like that. But just in general, I can make these decisions, and I don't feel bad about making these decisions. I can do it relatively quickly. I can cut people off relatively quickly.
Sure.
I don't feel bad about it.
And look. I do think you're okay. I do think you're right in that if you want to get successful at something, obviously you do have to like have priorities, and you might need to, you might decide that you want to spend your free time in your, studio, whatever, making music instead of like hanging out with your homies. But that doesn't mean you have to never talk to them ever again. Like, and also that doesn't make you a villain or a bad person. And especially like romantically, if you're talking about like you were dating somebody, but they had different life priorities than you had, that's just incompatibility. That doesn't make you a villain.
Yeah, that's true. Well, then I guess I'm not going to be the villain. I'll be Mr. Sweetness.
You're Mr. Sweetness.
Sweetest guy around, yes indeed.
All right, hit us with. All right, give us a fucking lick, bro. Come on, what's up? Give us some.
You want a lick?
Drop us a tune.
Let's see. What can I drop? What can I sing for y'all?
Mr. fucking Sweetness, sing us a tune.
Sing y'all a tune. Y'all listen to the Hell of a Boss. Yeah, Hell of a Boss episode, the Loser Baby. You're a loser, baby, a loser, gosh damn baby, you're a fucked up little whiny bitch. You're a loser just like me. You're a loose screwer, a only one-star reviewer. You're a power bottom at rock bottom, and you got company. I love that song.
What? Who's Hell of a Boss? I don't know what is that.
Hell of a Boss is a YouTube. Now this is a really, really cool thing, and this is like a cartoon. You should go into it because it's awesome. It's a YouTube originated cartoon. So it was it was like a pilot. It was just running through. It beat all the odds, and now it's on Amazon Prime. And it's called Hotel. Not Hell of a Boss. This one, the song I reference is from Has Been Hotel.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I want to watch it. I've heard of it.
Definitely recommend it. It's like it beat all the odds. It shouldn't even be a show because people were like, I don't know how it's gonna get off of YouTube. Someone bought it, and Dizzy Pop is her name, I believe. She's amazing, and she's been running with it. And I love it.
Well, Mr. Sweetness, good luck, man. I'm glad we had this conversation because I really do.
I am too.
I mean this. I feel like you have created this mindset for yourself that is only damaging. It's not gonna help you. So I hope you reflect on it.
Well, thank you for picking up. I really do appreciate it. This is like I've been listening to podcasts for like ever. My workout, be blowing through those workouts, listening to these conversations. They're so awesome.
Thanks, Mr. Sweetness. All right, man. You have a good one. Good luck, and I'm excited to see you on
Mr. Sweetness on all platforms. If you want to see when I drop stuff for anyone out there.
What is it?
You already know the name, Mr. Sweetness. You know the name.
Hold on. You got Mr. Sweetness. It's not like Mr. Sweetness 69555.
These are. I think TikTok is 3 S's because TikTok, but Instagram, Mr. Sweetness.
Right.
YouTube, Mr. Sweetness. I got on that quick. I love his name.
All right, I'll check you out. Thanks for calling, Mr. Sweetness.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a sweet day.
I guess it just doesn't make that. What is? I'm laughing because it's just funny that this guy He's a sweet guy. And he was so worried because he was convinced that if he wanted to like sing, he had to start being an asshole. And I don't think that that's true. Although it would be kind of cool if he occasionally was an asshole and it was like Mr. Sweetness had a sour side. Like, you fuck with Mr. Sweetness, maybe Mr. Sour comes out. I don't know.
Hello?
Hi. What's your name?
Kayla.
Well, Kayla, what's up, man? How can I geck you today? What's going on?
Got a couple of things going on, man.
Yeah, hit me.
First off, my mom's a narcissist, and she won't let me move out of the house. And it kind of sucks. But, I'm trying to move out of the house.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're 23, and your mom won't let you move out of the house?
Yeah, I mean, I can, but, she just keeps gaslighting me. And then, so, I always keep staying, and I just feel, really guilt-tripped, and I'm not really sure what to do.
Okay, so, let me ask you this. This is, let's talk financials for a second. Do you have a job? Do you have money that you would need to move out of the house?
I do. I'm engaged, so, I have a whole ass fiance and everything, and, I just don't really, what the fuck, She won't let me move out.
I also don't really what the fuck. So you're engaged. How old is he?
He's going to be 25.
Okay. You said that you were preparing that noise you made just before telling me. I was preparing for him to be 47 years old, and you hit me with a 2-year age gap. Okay. So
No.
I guess I still don't understand what's preventing you from leaving the house. Is it your mom's just really? I mean, look. By the way, your mom is not preventing you from leaving the house. Okay, she's guilt tripping you. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, she gaslights me all the time.
What is that? What does that mean exactly?
She holds everything over my head. So okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, so the other week, I asked my mom for $100 because she was out of state, and I was watching her pets for her, which I didn't have to do that, but I did. And so I was staying there, and I asked her for $100 because I paid for a bunch of stuff for the pets while she was gone. And so she gave me the $100, right? She was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Here's $100. And I was like, okay. And then after she came back, she was like, did you drive my car? And I was like, yeah, I drove it to my grandma's house, which was 20 minutes away. And so she told me that I needed to pay her back for gas. She told me that I needed to pay her for the $100 and that I didn't deserve it. Mm-hmm. And then, she just throws everything in my face. And so every once in a while, too, she'll, be like, oh, because the only thing that she pays for me still is my car payment.
Okay.
And so, because technically it's her car, that's the only thing, too. I do not have my own car.
All right.
So
wait, so hold on. So she doesn't pay your car payment. She pays her own car payment, and you sometimes use her car. You don't have a car. She does not pay your car payment.
Well, I have a car that I borrow from them, but as far as, her car specifically, no, I don't pay for anything for that.
Okay. So, Kayla, you said your name is?
Yeah.
Kayla, I get, how much money does your mom say that you owe her?
$600, $700 a month. But
no,
then
not a month. I'm talking about. I'm talking about what's a lump? Because what's a lump sum of money that you could pay to your mother to be okay, this is everything that you say I owe you as an adult for driving your car, for the pets, for whatever. We're done. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting my own place. I have my own job. I have a fiance. We're getting a thing. What's that amount of money?
That's a good question because that's what I'll try and do. I'll be like, okay,
No,
here's
there's
everything
no,
on the table.
but, okay, all right. So you put everything on the table, and then what happens?
And then something else comes up, like, oh no, this just happened. Like, you still have to owe that.
Like what?
But then here's the thing too. Like with a car payment or something, she'll be like, okay, you owe me $600 for this car payment. But then when I go to pay it, she's like, actually, no, it's fine. You don't need to pay it.
Wait.
Fine.
Why do you owe her for a car payment if it's not whose name is the car in?
Hers. That's what
Okay.
That's
All
what
right, then you don't own a car payment. Then you don't owe a car payment.
Yeah, I guess that's valid.
Yeah. Kayla, listen. At a certain
I don't
point,
know.
at a
I
certain
don't know.
point,
She's my mom, and
I know.
I've
I
literally
know.
like
I know.
it's true. Yeah, and so I just like that, and I just need to freaking do it.
You just need to freaking do
It's
it.
been really hard. It's been really hard for me to freaking do it.
You just gotta freaking do it.
I mean, I go to real therapy. Not
Okay,
that you're
what's
not
your-
real therapy.
What's no. I am absolutely not real therapy.
well, you are to me. And
What
a
is
lot
your
of
real?
other
Okay,
people.
all right. I do not desire to be real therapy to any people. I'm not a real
Okay.
therapist. I am an insane man in a gecko costume. What does your real therapist tell you?
I mean, pretty much the same thing, that like I don't owe anything, and that mainly a lot of it though is just the way that I grew up, because my parents kept me very like secluded from
Okay.
other things. So all I know is what I know that my parents have given me and thrown at me. So like my entire life I've literally grown up with the fact that like nothing that I have, like my room, my bed, all my stuff, like none of it is actually mine. It's theirs. And so that's what I always thought, like, oh, let me just move out at 18. But like, I've always been scared that like, okay, if I leave and they hate me for it, like I'm not going to have anything because all of my stuff or their stuff isn't actually mine. So that's why I've been like, you know, getting different jobs and trying to build up money. So then like all my stuff that I do purchase on my own, I can actually take with me.
Yes. By the way, I just want to say something. I want to say it's a bummer to me because I think like if you're a good parent, you're not like drawing these crazy fucking lines and like being selfish and, you know, like, you know, saying you owe me this, you owe me that. Like your kid's your kid, you know. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that you've had this experience where your mom is holding all of these things over your head. You know, I think that's not cool. I don't think that that's a good way to parent. And I'm sorry that you're having that experience. But I now do think that now that you are an adult, now that you did get married, now that you have a job, it's kind of time to be like, okay, you know, I can't control that my mom is holding all of this shit over to me, but I can, with my own adult money, get out of the house and tell my mom, you know, I'm not giving you any more money. You're not giving me any more money. We are both going to, our relationship now is going to be of two people who desire to have each other in each other's lives, not two people who are constantly, dealing with each other financially. You're no longer dealing with each other financially. And, you know,
Yeah.
so I guess I don't know what's preventing you from doing that, but that's, you know, what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very valid. And it's been a time, you know. And it sounds so silly, you know, because I'm literally like 23, and I mean a lot of people are still living with their parents, but like, you know, you always hear the thing where it's like you either move out and you suffer, or you stay with your parents and you suffer mentally. And
Sure, yeah.
that's 100% true.
I don't think, by the way, I don't think there's any shame in like living with I lived with my parents while I was, you know, starting doing this podcast, you know, and that's a great privilege to get to have. But like, you know, if it's causing you deep anguish and you have a job and you're making money, you know, go out and do it. But I'm going to tell you something, Kayla. We could go in complete and utter circles with this, and I'm going to stop us from doing that and say that you should just do what you're feeling in your gut to do.
Yeah, that's valid.
Is there anything else you want to say
That's
to the people of the
valid.
computer before we go?
I went to your indie show when you came there, and it was fucking amazing.
Indianapolis?
So,
Oh, you had a good time?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool. I didn't-
yeah. I know it was like a year ago, but still, it was
No, I
pretty
remember that.
amazing. And,
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. No, I didn't like that. That one. I thought I sucked, but I'm better now.
It was good. I mean, I honestly, I was like, what the fuck does Indianapolis have to offer? But, quite a lot. So, it's pretty fun.
Well, good luck, Kayla, and thanks. Good luck with living in Indianapolis and being a human being on the earth. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Lyle. Bye.
It's hard, man, because I really I've been talking a lot about what I've learned from doing this show, and one thing I've learned, just reflecting on my own life, is I've got really great parents. I really do, because my mom didn't hold anything over me like that, and so I'm I empathize with people who have had these kind of situations. Recently, I think I had this thing where I didn't like that my mom was babying me throughout my life, and even after I graduated from high school and college, she was still calling me all the time to ask me where I was and what I'm doing, and checking in on me, and something clicked, and I was always that was always bothering me, hey, I'm an adult, I'm running all around doing all these things, I'm gonna be fine, and then it fucking clicked to me. I'm like, bro, it's a privilege to have your mom calling you and checking in on you, that's a good thing, so I told last time she called me, I told her, I was she said to me, she was I know that you're 26 and traveling the world, but in my brain you're still 4 years old. And I told her, I was I'm sorry if I don't always answer your phone calls, but I'm grateful that you make them, because especially when you get older, you become an adult. It's nobody's watching out for you anymore. Nobody's making my I had made a dentist appointment today. Nobody's making my dentist appointments for me. Nobody's making sure that I live my life correctly. I'm 26. So it's good to have that little thing of just your mom calling you, yeah, anyway, I'm a gecko.
Hello, folks. It's Lyle here. That's the end of this episode, but get this. I'm releasing a bonus episode this week. That's right, an entire extra hour of the podcast that you can listen to by becoming a premium member of Therapy Gecko over at therapygecko.supercast.com. Supercast subscribers get access to bonus episodes. They get a completely ad-free podcast feed of the regular show. They get recordings from my live shows, members-only streams, and they help support my ability to continue doing this podcast. So here's a clip from this week's members-only bonus episode.
So I want to talk about how I met my husband, which is kind of a freaky story, but I don't recommend people normally do stuff like this. I basically met him playing League of Legends. We've been gaming buddies for a really long time. At first, I try to be a homie and help him out and be yeah, girls are easy to talk to. Just, go out. You got to do this, that. And, actually trying to get him laid, a good friend. So then I offered, I was hey, I'll take your virginity, as a joke. But then he was okay, sure.
You said, I'll take your virginity as a joke? You said...
Well, it was half joking, but half but if you want to kind of thing,
If you want to hear this full conversation, you can sign up to become a premium member at therapygecko.supercast.com or find the link in the episode description. That's therapygecko.supercast.com. All right, I have nothing else to say.
Therapy